Aston Martin Racing was gearing up to debut an updated rear wing design for their AMR23 car ahead of the upcoming Azerbaijan Grand Prix, but the new design will make an early appearance at the Australian Grand Prix this weekend. There is a great deal of excitement and anticipation building around the team's latest improvements. As one of the surprise teams of the season so far, Aston Martin has been making significant strides in their performance over the winter break. With the introduction of a new, more suitable rear wing, the team is looking to further close the gap to front-runners Red Bull and establish themselves as serious contenders in the 2023 Formula One season. Aston Martin is set to debut an updated rear wing design for their car at the upcoming Australian Grand Prix. The current rear wing design of the AMR23 is more suitable for the controversial zero-pod design of the Mercedes W14. As Aston Martin is a customer of Mercedes, they are using it too. However, the Mercedes-inspired design is larger near the floor, affecting airflow through the AMR23's diffuser, which in turn affects the car's performance. The Aston Martin team requires a rear wing design that generates more drag. To address this issue, the team has introduced a slightly modified DRS flap to reduce resistance. Additionally, rumors suggest that the team could introduce a lower loaded wing, potentially making an early appearance at the Australian Grand Prix this weekend. With Aston Martin showing significant improvements over the winter break, the updated rear wing is expected to provide further advantages to the team, allowing them to compete more closely with front-runners Red Bull and establish themselves as a serious contender in the 2023 Formula One season. Aston Martin has been the surprise team of the 2023 Formula One season, with an impressive improvement in their performance from last year. While the AMR23 was 2 seconds slower than the Red Bull RB18 in the first 4 races of 2022, the gap has been reduced to just half a second per lap in recent races. This improvement is partly due to a better understanding of last year's B-spec AMR22, which was introduced in Barcelona. Over the winter, Aston Martin made a 9/10ths improvement, positioning them as the nearest challenger to Red Bull, who are currently faster than the established frontrunners Mercedes and Ferrari. 2 consecutive podiums by Fernando Alonso have put him just 14 points behind Max Verstappen in the standings. In both Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, Alonso was the closest competitor to the Red Bull duo in terms of race pace. Aston Martin has a front suspension similar to Red Bull's, with an anti-dive geometry that allows for better aerodynamic stability. Ferrari has also adopted a more aggressive front suspension design this year to limit the transfer of load to the front and ensure aerodynamic stability, but excessive anti-dive can lead to instability when braking. Aston Martin and Red Bull have both managed to eliminate this issue with their respective front suspensions. The Aston Martin AMR23 has a similar aerodynamic concept to the Red Bull RB18, but the Silverstone-based team purchases the rear of their car from Mercedes, limiting their ability to copy Red Bull's design. The Mercedes specification gearbox used in the AMR23 is bulkier in the area closest to the floor, limiting airflow through the diffuser and making it less efficient. This means the AMR23 needs more rear wing to compensate, generating more drag and resulting in slower speeds on the straights. Aston Martin is attempting to solve this issue with a lower loaded wing, but a full solution will take time due to the budget cap. Red Bull, on the other hand, has focused solely on aerodynamics when designing the RB19's transmission, resulting in a more efficient diffuser and higher speeds on the straights. However, the team has not shown any issues with porpoising, despite using a very anti-dive front suspension, which is an important factor in preventing front-end instability. Aston Martin Racing's updates to their rear wing design for the AMR23 car is a promising development for the team's performance. The current rear wing design has been limiting the car's performance, particularly in terms of its speed on straights. However, with the introduction of a modified DRS flap and the potential debut of a lower loaded wing, Aston Martin aims to close the gap to front-runners Red Bull and establish themselves as serious contenders. With significant improvements made over the winter break, including a better understanding of last year's B-spec AMR22, the team is well positioned to challenge for podium finishes and potentially even race wins. It will be exciting to see how the team performs with their updated rear wing at the upcoming Grand Prix and throughout the rest of the season. So what do you think? Will Aston Martin be challenging Red Bull in the upcoming races, or will Mercedes and Ferrari catch up to them? We will love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.